Hello guys, welcome to Creative Academy. In this video, we'll be looking at how we can create form using HTML. So, how to create a form using HTML. We'll be exploring some of the form tags and then see how we can use these tags to create a form. So, to create a form, first of all, you need to input form. So, form enter, and you bring your cursor to this middle and you click on enter. So everything you have to write, all the code you have to write should be under this form tab. It should be in between this form tab. Yes, everything has to be here, in between this opening tag and this closing tag. Reason because it shows is a form, it's collecting the database as a form. If you do anything as aside this form, it's no longer recording it as a form. So let's say before inputting this form, we have something like, so we have like a heading tag, h1, or let's use h3, and then we have fill the form below. Fill the form below and come back to this our form. So let's start. So for the form tag, first we have to use our label tag. Now this label tag helps you write the title of the tag, or the information you need them to provide. Let's say you want them to write their name, so this label tag will help you write the name. So let's say first name, and after writing their first name, what comes next? The next thing that comes is what? Input. So use input. And to what type of input? You can see this stuff here. It says that okay, the text input. Now, in order for you to understand what I'm talking about, let's go live so that you can review whatever we are writing from the server. So this is actually what I'm talking about. First, here you can see the heading tag we use, fill the form below, and you can see this first name. So this first name is under the label tag. We use label tag for this first name. If you just write this first name, it doesn't actually make sense. So you have to put it in the label tag. And this box here is the input. This is where the user will actually respond. I can actually type anything here. So the reason I can type in text here because the type of inputs we need for this particular box is text. You can see it. Let me show you guys. You can see it here, text. As we proceed further, we will understand why I'm laying emphasis on that text. So let's click on enter. So I'll click on enter and I use another label, and this time I want surname and the input is also text. So enter again, label, and you say other name, and the input, and we have the input. Now next thing, label, enter. Now this time we are done with names. Let's say we need the person's phone number. Yes, so let's say phone number. Now when we come to the input, we will not be using test again. You can see different input here: input button, input checkbox, input call, input date, input date time local, input email. So right now we'll look for input number. So what the person now will be putting there is number. Now let's go to the server to see what I mean. You can see this phone number, you can see the input here. So imagine I type in, I'm trying to type in data now. It's not working. Only numbers can actually work here. Only numbers can actually work here. So if the person tries to type in an alphabet or a letter, it won't work. Only numbers, because the input needed there is phone number. Okay, let's go back. Now after phone number, we need the person's email. So let's say email, and then the input, you can see it here, email. Now let's go to the server. So here, if the person type in something, you know, because we set it as email, it will prompt you to include at. You can read what is on the screen. Please include an at in the email address. Now why is it giving us this response? Is because on a normal email address are supposed to have at, and the input type needed gets an email address. So if you type anything there that is not an email or doesn't have an at sign, it won't accept it as a valid email. So that is the reason we use that input email. Let's proceed. So next is label. Let's say we need the person's date of birth. Let's say date of birth, and the input now. So now the input will be what? Date. You can see it here, date. So when you come here to our server, there is no need start typing your date of birth, January 18 2000 or 1990. You can just come here and just set your date of birth. You can see it here. Just choose any date, and then choose the year. So it's very easy that way. Now let's proceed. What haven't we included in this form? I'm trying to make sure that I explore most of the inputs type, most of the inputs we have. So what haven't we actually written here? We have first name, surname, mother name, phone number, email, date of birth. Okay, let's just say address. Yeah, address. And our input. For address, the input will be test. Actually it should be test, because you're literally typing in your address. And you come here again. Now this time, let's say they want to select their gender, male or female. So it's something very simple. So just use label, enter, and you come here. Now what you type is male, then come here, input a checkbox. This time around you're using a checkbox. Now you proceed to this part and still put the label, and come here, female. So come to the front and input still a checkbox. Now the reason for doing this is, if the person is a male, the person will just tick the checkbox. If it's a female, the person will tick checkbox. Let's understand it better from the live server. So you can see it here now, male, female. So there's no need of okay gender. You start typing gender. If you are male, you can practically click okay, I'm a male, you know. And if you're a female, you can practically tick you're a female. So that is the reason for using that input as checkbox. I guess we've been able to explore most of the input type. So understand this for forms. The important tags we use in form is the form tag, label tag, input tag, and let me show you guys some other things. Let's see if there's something we haven't really explored. If you look at our form, you notice it is not arranged. This is not how the form is supposed to look. The outlook is not meant to be like this. So we can just, how can we move this stuff to the next line? Everything you're seeing here are called inline elements because they are not occupying, they are not acting as landlord. Rather, they are trying to accommodate other tags and elements. So how can we make them, you know, just this first name to be here, then the second line will be surname, the third line will be other names? How can we do that? So we come here to our code and apply a break tag. So come here and just apply the break tag, br, enter. Come here to br, enter. Come here, br, enter. Come here to br, enter. Br, enter. Br, enter. And here to br, enter. So if you go back to our code, you can notice this. There is practical, it has everything has gone to the next line. Everything is now on their own. But now if you notice, the spaces between them isn't enough. It looks jam packed. So how can we increase the space between them? Let's go back to our code. So there are actually several ways to do that actually, but I'll just show you guys one way. I'll show you guys one way. There are several ways to do that, so I'll just show you guys one way. So I can just come here between this label and this input, and I'll apply another break, break tag, br, enter. So come here to between the label and input, apply another break tag. Do the same thing here. Do the same thing here. Same thing for this, and same thing for this. Okay, let's be careful here too. Then for this male and female, I'm not sure we'll be applying any break tag there. So let's view what we have. So now you can see how our form is arranged. First name, you can put your first name, surname, other name, So this is actually very neat. This is neat. And this is how we can actually create a simple form using HTML. So this is actually for beginners. As we proceed, we will see how we can do something more difficult or something more advanced. Let me not use the word difficult, something more advanced. Besides, if you enjoyed the video, ensure you subscribe, like, and if you have any question, leave a question in the